Now you might have privacy concerns when it comes to using AI models on the web. And you are right, because most of the times the data that you enter ends up being used to train the models themselves. And so as an alternative, you can also try to run AI models on your own machine. LM Studio is one tool that you can use to do that. It's available on different platforms. Here I'm going to use a Windows version, but you can also install it on Linux or macOS. So I've gone ahead and installed it, and now we are inside of LM Studio. So from this application, you can actually use the AIs that you have installed locally. So inside of this chat part, you will interact with the models that you have at your disposal. In this case, since I haven't installed any models yet, I cannot use this feature. So first you have to search for a model and install it. There are tons of open models available, but the thing is that many of the models that are available are quite large. And so if your machine is not beefy enough, you will not be able to run those locally. In my case, I have a machine with a lot of memory, so I'm able to run quite large models, but there are still models that I'm completely unable to run. So there are limitations on that side. All right, just for the sake of the example, I'm going to install Gemma 3. It's a 1D model, so it's really small. So first you have to download the model. It's going to take a while, so while it's doing that, I want to explain something. On the web, you can find many videos of people pretending to run DeepSeek R1 on their machines, but actually they are just running distilled versions. So in this case, it's a distilled version based on Qwen, and so it's not even the full model of DeepSeek, and even not DeepSeek itself. It's just Qwen that has been fine-tuned with DeepSeek. So it's really not the same thing. Now that the model has been downloaded, we can load it. And actually we can go back to the chat. And as you can see here, we have one model available, which is the one that we just downloaded. And here I can ask any question I want. Where is PKM, for instance? So this was quite fast, but do consider that this is a really small model. So it's much less reliable and much less powerful than other ones. Interestingly, you can also add context to those chats. And so I can go here and upload a file. And so if I go back to my notes and load again the course plan, I can ask, what is this course about? And as you can see, it used the context that I gave it to provide an answer. And since we have the context available, we can ask any question we want and we can get useful answers back. Again, it's a small model, so the results will not be on par with other ones. But thanks to this tool, you can install different AI models. Those will be stored locally, so you can choose a folder where those models will be stored on your machine. And you can manage from this screen the models that you have. So if you want to regain some space, you can delete those, but you can also install multiple ones. And then in the chat, you can switch between those. So if you have a chat ongoing with one model, then you can switch to a different one and continue the discussion. In addition, the models that you load inside of LM Studio are not only available for the chat, but also available to the rest of your machine. So from this screen, developer, you can also start a server. And once you do that, you can actually interact with the AI models that you have loaded from other tools such as Obsidian. Now, this is one of the many ways in which you can load models locally and expose those to other tools such as Obsidian. You can also use something called Ollama, and Ollama is a free and open source software that you can install on your machine. So it's a bit more technical. I'm not going to cover it here, but once you install it, you will have a command line available from which you can install any of the models listed on this page. And so if I want to install DeepSeek, for instance, and actually the full version of DeepSeek, then I could just execute this command using Ollama on my machine. And once I do that, it will first download it, then load it into memory and expose it using an API. And doing that will actually make it available to use from other tools on your system. But yeah, this is a bit more advanced, so we're not going to dive into that now.